Bulldogs. Mount Vernon is from the Wesco AAA North Division and is one of the top teams in the state. Their only losses at the hands of #1 rated Seaholm. Cascade is the top seed in the South Division, and despite an early season pounding by the Bulldogs, are coming on strong now. The Bruins and Bulldogs compete in first-round tournament action next on Viacom's Game of the Week.
Again, basketball fans, well, it's tournament time, postseason time. Tonight, two of the fine teams in the Wesco, one from the north, one from the south, meeting on the south team's home court. We're at the Cascade High Gym. I'm Rod Belcher with Joe Richer, and we'll be bringing you the action as the Mount Vernon Bulldogs invade Cascade High's gym to play the Bruins. Joe, we have, I think, an evenly matched couple of teams here, especially since Cascade has the home court advantage, if there is such a thing.
Well, Mount Vernon, they played one another back in December, Rod, and that was a home game for Mount Vernon. Mount Vernon won that game, but as you said, Cascade now has the home court advantage, so we'll see what happens tonight, but it should be a great basketball game. Two great teams.
And what's the incentive for the teams to win tonight? Is there some?
Well, there's a lot of incentive. Obviously, the four teams, Mount Vernon and Cascade, are trying to win the Western Conference championship, and at the same time as Mount Lake Terrace and Seaholm, we can see on the monitor, are as well. Another important issue here is that the winner of tonight's game, as will the winner of the Seaholm Mount Lake Terrace game, they will get an automatic bye in the district tournament next week, so they won't have to play on Tuesday's single elimination game. So there's a lot of incentive in tonight's game.
You bet. Okay, let's turn our attention a little bit to the visiting team, the Mount Vernon Bulldogs. They'll be out there in the bright green uniforms, and they're under Mac Frazier in his 10th year, and he's a veteran coach, and look at that record. 18-2, not too shabby. Now, they did lose to Seaholm, but then just about everybody loses to Seaholm.
Well, you know, Seaholm being the #1 team in the state, and as you said, Mount Vernon's lost twice to them, but they are still well thought of throughout the state because they're ranked 5th, so they're going to be a very formidable foe for Cascade Bruins tonight.
And as you notice, Grant Leap in the last game scored 31 points, and he's a mere sophomore, but he is 6'6" and a fine player, great prospect for the future. Of course, we, as we usually do, go up and talk to the coach earlier in the week to get his slant on what's going on tonight. Mac Frazier had this to say. He talks about his team's success from their move this year up from the AA category. Mac, tell us about it.
Well, yes, I am a little bit surprised. All our coaches are a little bit surprised. We ended up real strong last year at the end of the year. Our last 9-10 games we played very well, and we beat Seaholm, who had only had, well, they hadn't lost up to that point. And so we felt real good about going into the spring and the summer and those sort of things. And I think our kids have gone through that a little bit of losing last year, and they didn't want to go through that anymore. And I thought they worked real hard during the summer, individually and as a team. But we're happily surprised by how well we're doing this year. We kind of thought we were a year or two away, but we'll certainly take the success this year. Well, without a doubt, the key player that's getting probably the most notoriety is Grant Leap. He's a sophomore, but he led the Wesco AAA in scoring and I believe in rebounding. If not rebounding, was awfully close. He's a 6'6", 6'7" sophomore and plays underneath and also out front. A very skilled person. We also have Taylor Jones. He's about a 6'4", 6'5" forward. He's scored pretty well, around 14 a game. Chris Hertzberg is a senior also that starts at the wing, and he's done very well this year. Don Holloman's a starting point guard and does a good job. Eric Swanson is a starting wing player also. And then we have kids like Nick Lind, Eric Kruger, Scott Collins, Brian Whitehead, Matt McManus that have been very important role players coming off the bench for us. There's just 3 seniors on the starting team, and so you know, you're always wondering what sort of experience the kids are going to bring, but the 8 or 9 that we've been playing have done a real good job. Well, even though we beat them early in the year, you know, you kind of throw those games out because people are trying different things, you know, working on different things, trying to set on a lineup. And when you get ready to play in something like this, it gives you a chance to play in the league championship. You're going to get just about every team's best effort. They're going to be doing everything they do as well as they possibly can, and also playing on their home court. I think that gives them some advantage also. For us we're going to have to be playing good defense. We're going to have to make sure we take care of and watch carefully Mike Jones. He's got soft hands for a big guy, works very hard. We're going to have to make sure that Mackay and Freychek don't score a lot from the outside. You have to pay close attention to Stevenson. You have to watch Allen on the wings. I mean, they have a real good team that's playing real well right now. For us on our side, we need to make sure that we're playing good defense, like I said, and we're spreading the ball around on offense, making sure that we find the people that are hot that particular night. I think it's going to be a very good game. Both teams really want to move to that next step, and I think it's going to be a real competitive night.
I think so too, and just as we're talking, I see that there's really a big crowd down from Mount Vernon to see this game, Joe.
Yeah, basketball up in that area up there is real important, and they certainly have a great team to follow, and they're showing it tonight with this big crowd here so early in the game.
You bet. Okay, let's turn our attention now to the homestanding Cascade Bruins under veteran coach Jerry Coster, who's only in his second year here but has had great success in other places as well. Now, they come off a big win over Edmonds Woodway, which was not an outstanding team, quite frankly. And one of the things there I noticed, Joe, is that the increased scoring of Sean Stevenson in recent games. He's 13 points. He's been in double figures a lot of times, and it wasn't that way at the start of the season.
No, and I'm sure Coach Coster is really pleased to see that because with all the pressure that's put on Mike Jones to score for them, you know, it's nice to have someone besides John Freychek step up and be able to hit that outside shot and take some of the pressure off of Jones. And, you know, that's what Mac Frazier said, the same thing. He's had the same problem this year of getting scoring from the perimeter in the last few games. They've been getting that. So both teams are going to need that tonight.
Well, we haven't had an interview with Jerry Coster since the very first game of the season back early part of January. So let's hear again from Jerry. And after the season's, the regular season's over with, he talks about, the success and accomplishments of the season he's just had. So let's hear from Jerry Coster.
I felt we were going to have a solid team, but that not just the fact that we won it, but we won it reasonably comfortably because we clinched with about 3 games to go. I think that definitely did surprise me, and we knew that there were going to be other good teams in the division, but I think we came together and played well as a team, and I felt like when we did, we did better than anybody in our division in the crossovers against the Northern Division teams, and then I realized that we had a chance to have a pretty good year when that happened in December. Well, I think the biggest thing is this team, as far as things that we are proud of with this team. I think this team really won most games that are your swing games. I mean, I think every year you go into a season and you know that there's certain games that you feel you should win, there's certain games that are going to be very difficult to win, and then there's those games in the middle, the swing games. And I think we got off the blocks really well and won those kinds of games early. And then we came back and played really, really well in adversity when we had to go to Mount Lake Terrace and win in order to clinch the division. So those things are things that we're proud of. But, probably more than anything I remember is just the improvement that our team has made from December. I look at our stats and I look at films from December and where we're playing in February, and I think that's the thing that pleases me most. We've had a tremendous camaraderie, and the kids have gotten along and enjoyed the year. But the biggest thing, they've really, really improved as players and as a team. Well, Mount Vernon's a fine basketball team, and we know that. I mean, obviously they've been ranked in the top 5 2, 3, 4, 5 all year long by the Associated Press. Their only 2 losses are to Seaholm, who really is in another league right now with anybody in the state. So we understand they're a very good team, but when we go back and look at our game in December, with the exception of about a 4-minute stretch in the 3rd quarter, we played a pretty good basketball game against them, and actually we're leading them in the 2nd half. So the things that hurt us there were really we did not take care of the ball. We got in a little bit of a panic against their pressure. We missed some easy shots, and that really hurt us as much as anything. I think watching them and seeing them as the season has gone on, I mean, they're very much an inside-oriented team, and you know, Leap is probably the most prolific individual scorer in our conference, game in and game out. You know, there are other players that may have the abilities, but they haven't been as consistent as he has, and Taylor Jones is very good in there. So we've got to do a job controlling their inside offense, and then, like I said, take care of the basketball and score some points ourselves.
Well, I'm sure they want to score a lot of points, but you know, a Cascade team doesn't always score too much. They may be below 50 and maybe not too much above 50 in a lot of the games.
Well, they don't like to give up the easy basket, you know, and so they're not going to get a game going up and down like some teams will. So obviously it's going to cut down on the scoring, and that's pretty typical when you play Cascade. You don't expect to score a lot of points. They're going to take care of the ball and try to check you real well.
Okay, we've set the scene going into the game. We'll take a brief break here and come back with the starting lineups and right into the action on Viacom's Game of the Week.
Red hot, Sonics basketball at the top of their division, driving down the court on the road to the playoffs. Don't miss a thing. Catch all the action from the comfort of your home. The last 11 pay-per-view games of the season, only on cable TV for one great package price. Order the 11-game package now, and you'll be automatically entered to win a night in a Sonics luxury suite to celebrate the last game of the regular season in style. Call your cable company now.
Well, the teams have been called off the court to get together with their coaches at the last minute. Clock is running down to 0 on the pregame scoreboard, and we'll have the announcement of the starting lineups in just a moment. There you see the officials walking over to the scorer's table, and this game will be underway. Of course, we'll have the lineups and the national anthem and so forth coming up too. All right, Mount Vernon will be the team in green, and Cascade will be the home whites. And here's Public Address System announcer Mike Gilchrist.
For tonight's Wesco AAA League Tournament semifinal game between the Mount Vernon Bulldogs and your Cascade Bruins. Tonight's winner plays the Seaholm Mount Lake Terrace winner for the Wesco Championship tomorrow night at 8 p.m. The loser of this game plays the Seaholm Mount Lake Terrace loser at 11:45 tomorrow for 3rd and 4th seeds in the Wesco. Those games and all the games tomorrow are at Stanwood High School. The Bulldogs, ranked number 3 in the state, finished 18-2 overall, 15-2 in North Division play. And that was good for the 2nd spot in the Northern Division. The Southern Division champion Bruins were 15-5 overall, 14-4 in South Division action. And now let's meet the starting lineups for tonight's game. First, for the visitors from Mount Vernon, a 6-foot junior starting at guard, number 21, Don Holloman. For the Bruins at guard, a 5'8 senior, he's the captain, number 20, Sean Stevenson. At guard for the Bulldogs, a 6'3 senior, number 34, Chris Kurzberg. And for the Bruins at guard, a 6-foot senior, number 32, John Freychek. At forward for Mount Vernon, a 6'6 sophomore, number 30, Grant Leap. And for the Bruins, at forward, a 6'1 senior, he's number 34, Jamel Allen. At forward for Mount Vernon, a 6'4 senior, he's the captain, number 32, Eric Swanson. And for the Bruins at forward, a 6'2 senior, number 42, Ryan Mackay. At center for the Bulldogs, a 6'4" senior, number 42, Taylor Jones. And in the post for the Bruins, a 6'9" senior, number 50, Mike Jones. The coaching staff for the Bulldogs, assistant Scott Stromer and Robert Hancock. The head coach is Matt Frazier. For the Bruins, the assistants are Bill Hull, Lou Stevenson, Scott Roberts. The head coach of the Bruins, Mr. Jerry Koster. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask you to please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let's play ball.
Okay, there was no national anthem, just the pledge to the flag. The teams come back off the court, and they really look, up. I think their nerves are on edge a little bit, Joe. They're ready to play, both these teams.
Well, this is playoff basketball, Rod, and we have two very fine teams here, and a lot at stake tonight. As we said earlier in our telecast, we're talking about a chance to win the Western Conference, and we're also looking for a bye in that district tournament next week. So this is a big game for both Mount Vernon and Cascade.
Interesting that a shorter player at 6'4", Taylor Jones, is going to jump at center against Mike Jones, rather than the taller Grant Leap, who is 6'6". But Leap is listed as a forward, and Taylor Jones is a center, actually. Jones gets the tip, and here comes Stevenson. Okay, check the defense, Joe. Looks like man-to-man to me. Definitely, it's Jamel Allen trying to find. They're always looking for Jones. If they can get the ball to him. They're collapsing around him. There's a shot from outside. Swish. And that's a three-pointer by Freychek.
Great start for Cascade. Mount Vernon played good defense that time, but Cascade had the patience and hit the three.
This is Leap, the talented sophomore, and he almost got tied up. He's a left-hander, by the way, and finally is called for walking. Yeah, he took a little one too many pivots there, I think.
It's interesting. Both possessions, Rod. Cascade had two kids on Grant Leap, their leading scorer, and when Cascade had the ball down here, Mount Vernon had two kids on Mike Jones. So they're trying to take care of those big scores for both clubs. A little half-court trap here out of their 1-2-2 zone.
Yeah. Now are they dropping back to man-to-man, I wonder? Not sure.
They play a matchup zone, Rod, and it's difficult, but I'm trying to watch the players inside to see what they're doing there.
I see it is a zone because they're not following the cutters.
Well, they have a guy in front of one behind him.
There's Jones in close, and it drops in. It counts, and he's fouled. So that's what Cascade is looking for. Get the ball to Big Mike inside, and he's got that soft touch around the hoop.
One of the things that Coach Mac Frazier told me before the game, Rod, was that they had to keep the ball away from Mike Jones in the low post area. And that's what happened right there. The ball got in there and Mike converted.
It's 5-0, and he's got a chance to make it 6 with this one only free throw. Up and stays in there. Good soft touch. 6-0 it is.
And Cascade's 2 for 2 there, and 1-1 foul line. They haven't missed a shot yet.
And of course, Mount Vernon hasn't had a shot yet. That's Taylor Jones. Oh, in and out. No. Rebound, Jones. Pressure in the backcourt, but here comes Stevenson beating it easily to Freychek, who fakes the shot up. Jones now moves to play inside. He's not in there at the moment. Now he is working against the zone. Jamel Allen out to Freychek. There's the over the top to Jones, and he's fouled as he shoots. Ball didn't go in, but he's going to shoot 2 at the line.
What Mount Vernon's trying to do, Rod, is get one person in front of Mike Jones and one behind. In the last 2 possessions, the person behind has just gotten there late, and both times Mike Jones has got a good shot at it, making one and missing one there, but going to the foul line. That
foul was called on Leap, his first, but it's 2 fouls against Mount Vernon as a team. Jones makes it 7-0.
It's real nice, Rod, when your big man like Mike Jones has such a nice soft touch and he goes to the foul line, he can take advantage of those chippy fouls he gets.
Well, he has scored 5 of the 8 points, and it's 8-0. Great start for Cascade. There's the ball from Holloman into Leap.
You see that Mount Vernon tries to clear the side there for Grant Leap, but hasn't been able to take advantage of it yet.
32 is Eric Swanson. Swanson, team captain, cross-courts it. Holloman drives into the key, lost control, was kind of knocked into the air, picked off by Cascade. Showing Stevenson for Freycheck. Leap is trying to front Jones. Jones moves high for the moment. This is Ryan Mackay with the ball. He can't maneuver too well. Tries to pass off, and on the pass off, foul's called on 32, Eric Swanson, the 6'4" senior. Things are not going well for the Bulldogs at the moment. They have a tremendously big crowd here tonight with a lot of enthusiasm, and boy, I want to hear them holler, I'm sure, when the Bulldogs get their first basket. But that's 3 fouls against them. Pass comes into Stevenson. He's checked by Holloman. Holloman's taller. And there's the over-the-top pass to Jones. Got it in. Perfect pass.
Well, just great execution, Rod. Right now, it's just the execution of Cascade's offense, just beating the Mount Vernon defense.
10-0. This is Taylor Jones. Looking for cutters inside. Can't find anybody free. Back outside to start all over again. Holloman is the point guard. He's with it now. This is Hertzberg, number 34, checked by Jamel Allen. Leap. Into Taylor Jones, partially deflected, goes off Mount Vernon, out of bounds. So Cascade, leading 10-0, gets a chance to extend the lead, but a good timeout taken here by Coach Mac Frazier.
Well, so far, Rod, I think Cascade's almost played perfect. Offensively, they've executed very well, and defensively, every time the ball goes inside to one of those good Mount Vernon big kids, Cascade perimeter people just collapse on the ball, making it very difficult for them to get a shot off.
And Mount Vernon has actually had only 1 shot at the basket. Mark Richer points out, who's keeping statistics tonight, as usual, for us. By the way, the clock shows 5 minutes and 1 second to go, so we've played, you might say, 3 minutes of the first quarter, 10-0. I don't think we expected this.
No, but you know Mount Vernon's a quality team, and they'll get settled down here a little bit, I'm sure, and certainly make this a ball game as we know they can do. Right now, though, it's been the Cascade defense. It's just been Cascade executing very well offensively and playing very good defense.
And also making the incoming passes to Mike Jones very accurately. Allen's double team gets it to Mackay. Stevenson. Now Jones off the pivot for the moment. Now he moves to play in the paint, or just outside it. That's Mackay. Mackay drives down for the layup and scores. Oh, maybe they didn't expect that. Beautiful play by Mackay, who just saw an opening and knifed his way to the hoop. 12-0 Cascade. Okay, from outside, a 3-pointer put up, and scoring is number 34, Chris Hertzberg. Oh, that helps Mount Vernon for sure.
Mount Vernon needed that, get off that little zero bubble there.
12-3. There's the ball in close. Mackay couldn't get a shot off. It's Freycheck off to Jamel Allen, fakes the shot. Allen knows his limitations. He's not a great shooter. He's a great floor man and penetrator on the dribble and good defensive player. There he is with the ball now, and he's checked by Holloman. And, well, they're still playing zone. That's Stevenson. He misses off to the side. They're all after it. Put up on the rebound by Jones.
That was Grant Leap that checked that shot.
Right, he got a piece of it.
He had 50 blocks this year, Rod, so he can do it inside.
There's a nice dish off after the penetration. Hertzberg fakes, going for another 3. 3.5 minutes to play first quarter. Outside to Holloman. Hertzberg going past. Oh, a sensational reverse layup as he beat Jamel Allen along the end line and came back with an unorthodox shot from the far side of the basket as he crossed under. 12-5. Allen looking inside, as they always do. He's used up his dribble, gets it off to Freycheck. Freycheck puts one up, and he forced the player into the foul. He really didn't have much chance to make that shot go. but he knew if he got up there, there's a good chance he'd get fouled, which he did.
That's what good players do. They get the defensive player off the ground, and you can see why coaches preaches to their players to stay on the ground, but that time John got his defensive player off the ground, and it just drew the foul.
Foul was on Hertzberg, his second. In the meantime, number 10, Nick Lind, a 5'11 junior, comes into the game. This is 2 shots for Freychek. Normally, a fine touch. Sure enough. In addition to everything else, Cascade's hitting his free throws tonight, Joe.
They're only shooting around 63-64% for the year, but you wouldn't know it tonight. They're 100% in the line.
5 for 5 at the line.
See Freychek down there getting those feet moving. He's ready to play.
Down to Hertzberg, made that 1-3. Now a foul on Cascade. That's the first foul called against the Bruins. Looks like it's against Jamel Allen, but we'll check it. That's on Allen, all right. His first and the team's first.
Well, you wouldn't have thought it with 2:42 to go in the first quarter that Jones or Leap hadn't scored a basket yet, but Cascade's just done a good job controlling those 2 players. You see how they clear a side for him.
This is Taylor Jones, and an offensive foul. So Mike Jones was ruled to have beaten him to position and forced the onus on the offensive player.
That was a difficult foul. It looked like it might have even been a no call, but it was a great position by Mike Jones for his size to get over like that and draw that foul. And so far, Cascade's done a good job in attacking this half-court trap. You heard Coach Koster in the pregame saying how much trouble they had with this. Their first meeting.
Mackay, close but no good, but on the opposite side, Freychek the rebound. There's Mackay again, no good. Knocked out of bounds by Jones. Bulldog ball. 2:05 to go first quarter. This is Swanson bringing it up now. Into Taylor Jones. They looked for a backdoor cut. Nothing came from it. Oh, there. Oh. Jones was wide open for a potential layup, and he didn't look the ball into his hands. It went right out of bounds.
That was a nice little cut and rub they ran that time, Mount Vernon did. And like you said, he had the easy basket, just couldn't control the ball.
Stevenson deflected out of bounds by Swanson. Another change. Number 25 comes in. That's Eric Kruger, a 6'3 junior. Coach Frazier does have a good bench. Joe has made good use of it this year.
And he talked about it in his pregame. He played 9 or 10 players.
There's Jones. Little pivot shot. In and out. Tip. No. Mackay had a good shot at the tip, but it wouldn't drop for him. Long down court pass. Kruger outside. Long three-pointer. No by Swanson. And the long rebound goes to Freychek.
Cascade doing a good job of getting back in defense and making Mount Vernon set up every time down the floor.
And they're still in a zone.
Well, it's kind of a matchup. It looks man-to-man, but you can see those bottom players down there.
Well, when there's a full diagonal cut, nobody follows the player. And, Allen had a chance for about a 12-foot shot, but he kind of fumbled the ball. There's Freychek shooting, and he scores. Of course, he's always had the good soft touch.
And John's got a good outside shot, and he's been a consistent score for Cascade this year.
16-5, the Bruins lead. With less than a minute to play, there's a beautiful move inside. Ball wouldn't drop for Taylor Jones, and the ball, here's a 2-on-1, and Mackay is going to take it to the hoop, and it wouldn't go for him. Made a great effort.
Well, Jamal Allen down there got that loose ball.
There's a three-point shot. Good. And that was by Nick Lind, who just went in. A three-pointer, 16-8. Less than a half minute to go. Here's an official's timeout. I think Mackay was injured.
He might have been. You got to credit Jamel Allen in the last series there. He got the loose ball out to Cascade for the 2-and-1 break, and then when they missed a lay-in, Mount Vernon went back down, and who was the player down there challenging the shot but Jamel Allen again. Great hustle, Jamel.
And he's always had the speed, as we saw on the football field this past couple of years.
Was that Ryan Mackay that went down there? I didn't see what happened.
Yeah, it was Mackay, you bet.
Jeff Bunton's coming in the game for him.
Jeff Bunton came in for him. Jeff was a tight end on the Cascade football team. Okay, 19 seconds and counting in the quarter. 16-8, Cascade leads. although the Bruins have dominated, 8 points is not a big lead. There's Freychek from outside, way over the basket. He just shot long. And 2 seconds, 1 second. They're shooting way it's close from about 30 feet.
Chris Herzberg with that desperation shot there, but he's been one of the real lights for Mount Vernon this first quarter.
So there it is at the end of the first quarter. Great defensive quarter for Cascade, especially holding Mount Vernon to 8. We'll be back in a moment with the second period on Viacom's Game of the Week.
Wow, what a fight!
Is this cable? Yeah, it's pay-per-view. Man, it's just like being there.
Better. Remember those lousy seats that Scalper sold us?
So pay-per-view's boxing? It's more.
Wrestling!
Yeah, concerts and movies too. And it's really easy to order. Expensive? No, Joe, not even for you. I can't believe I never tried this.
So, next time it's at your place.
Sure, but what's wrong with coming here? Hey, who ordered a pizza with pepperoni, mushrooms, and extra mice?
Pay-per-view it. The best way to do it.
Okay, the teams come back on the floor. We'll check lineups for Mount Vernon. Taylor Jones, Grant Leap, Nick Lind, Eric Swanson, and Chris Hertzberg. For Cascade, let's see. We've got Nathan Spiller, the sophomore, in there, number 30, along with Stevenson, Allen, Bunton, and Jones. So a little different lineup for Jerry Coster's team.
You know, just a couple things in that first quarter. I thought Cascade played very well, but you know, they won the inside game there. They got the ball to Mike Jones, and so far Mount Vernon's key players haven't scored. And the other thing Cascade's done very well is control that Mount Vernon pressure. Very good quarter for Cascade.
Now here's a little Cascade extended pressure. But with a different point guard in there, Swanson goes to bring the ball up the quarter line. Now Swanson is plenty tall. He's 6'4". That's Kruger with it. Back to Swanson. And the over-the-top pass goes to Leap, and he's pushed. Good call, and it was Bunton who pushed him.
And it was probably a good foul by Bunton there, because if he hadn't, Leap would have had an easy basket.
That's foul number 2 on Cascade as a team. Foul number 1 on Bunton. Hertzberg returns, and out of the game comes Kruger.
You know, that's a good matchup for Mount Vernon with Bunton on Leap. There's about a 5-inch difference there, height difference, and let's see if Grant Leap can take advantage of that.
That's Swanson. He's checked by Spiller. That's Leap turning around, missing off to the side, but the rebound corralled by Hertzberg. And he fakes a man off his feet, shoots the 3, it's short. Rebound, Cascade's Bunton.
Jeff Bunton did a good job that time of staying in front of his man, Grant Leap, getting that rebound.
Okay, Stevenson setting it up now. There's the pass into Jones, but he's a little farther away than usual. Ducks inside, almost lost the ball, gets it back to Allen, fakes the shot. Deflected out of bounds. No, apparently was not deflected out of bounds. It's Green's ball.
The original call was a deflection, and I think he got overruled by the other official,
who had a better angle on it. Right. Okay, here's Swanson bringing it up. Pretty good looking point guard with that ball too at 6'4". The ball into Taylor Jones. Very maneuverable in there, but look at Bunton take the ball away from him.
That's what Cascade's been doing. They've been dropping in on those post players, making it very tough.
Spiller drives for the hoop and is hacked. Well, he was not to be denied. He was going to go for that basket, and the defensive man wasn't going to let him get a layup.
But you know what Cascade does, Rod? They don't run, but they always keep pressure on you, getting the ball up court fairly quickly. And that time, Mount Vernon defense didn't get back and get set, and they took advantage of it and go to the foul line.
Now look at this, Joe. 6 team fouls against Mount Vernon, so from now on, all common fouls will result in a 1-1 for Cascade. And the Bruins have only committed 2 at this point. 6:50 to go, second quarter, and there's been no scoring in the period up to now. Of course, we only played it in 10 seconds. This is Nathan Spiller, good-looking sophomore, and they're still perfect at the line. Spiller's about an even 6 feet. Gee whiz, what sensational free throwing, just when they need it.
Just a good-looking shooter there, too.
Yeah. And this Swanson with a behind-the-back dribble almost got away from him. They look to Taylor Jones. There's Jones. Oh, that's Leap. I beg your pardon. And Leap lost the ball.
Well, that was just Sean Stevenson, I think, coming in, just
got a handle,
giving help.
Yeah, okay. This Button shoots from 8 feet, way off to the side. Rebound by Spiller, and Spiller walks. He fell off balance after grabbing the rebound and teetered on 1 foot, and it was called for the walk.
It was good hustle by Nathan, but he did take a few steps there, and
he comes up limping a little bit, as if he may have banged his knee in the collision.
Grant Leap looked to be very aggressive that last time with the basketball. I'm sure he's going to try to get the ball in the hole for him a little bit.
There he is with that left-handed shot and a foul on the arm. He'll be shooting 2, I presume.
Coach Koster is just telling Mike Jones, just stand up, Mike, don't reach. But Grant Leap showing us why he was the #1 scorer in the Western Conference this year, and as Coach Frazier said, probably the #1 rebounder as well. We haven't seen the final statistics, but just an amazing season for this growing sophomore.
But he missed his first free throw. By the way, that was the 3rd team foul on the Bruins and the 1st on Mike Jones. Returning is Holloman at the point guard spot, and Swanson sits. Ryan Mackay, recovering from the tumble he took and a minor injury, reports back in for the Bruins. Second free throw by Leap. Missed them both. Rebound Jones. Oh, he passed it almost right into the hands of a Mount Vernon player. Here comes Steve to set up. Jones will move inside after this pass, presumably, and there he goes.
They usually use him to reverse the ball on their break, their pre-offense.
Freycheck, the dangerous shooter, with it, and they get on him. That's Holloman on him.
Cascade's got excellent motion out there. It makes it very difficult to check him.
Did they go to man-to-man? I kind of think they did.
And you got 2 guys in the ball right there, so I don't think so.
All right.
It's very well disguised, though.
Spiller, the collapse around him. He gets rid of it nicely. Stevenson, nope. Rebound, Spiller, nope. Knocked out to Freycheck. Still with it. Good offensive board work. Now they kind of slow it down. 5 minutes to play, second quarter. 18-8 the score. There's Jones. Tough one to lose. Good rebound as Kruger blocked out Spiller. Up court to Holloman it comes. 3-pointer. No. Easy rebound, long one by Stevenson. Holloman goes to meet Stevenson. Great check into Jones. Triple team. Steals. Hertzberg. He's going coast to coast with it. And foul. Well, again, a good foul, I guess, if there is such a thing.
Yeah, it was a great hustle back by John Freycheck. But, you know, I was watching Chris Hertzberg in that series there, and I could see him just anticipate that pass about 2 or 3 seconds before it was thrown, and made a great steal and got denied the basket by good hustling John Freycheck.
Matt McManus, 33, in for the Bulldogs, and for the Bruins, Mike Sachwitz, number 44 in. And this is Hertzberg shooting 2. His team trailing by 10.
You know, I know Chris's dad pretty well. He's a golf coach at Burlington, and so I get the chance to play golf with him once in a while and share some of my money with him. Takes to it very well.
Two for 2 on the free throws for Hertzberg. 18-10 the score.
I think Chris might have had, he must have 7 or 8 of the points of Mount Vernon so far. They only had 10 in this first half.
Right.
You can see now Cascade spreading out a little bit, anticipating more doubling that Mount Vernon did last time.
Into the corner, shot by Freycheck. Oh, rattles and comes out. Rebound Hertzberg. Here they come. The Bulldogs, the defense is back, so they slow it down, go into their half-court attack. Well clogged up in the middle. They couldn't get it in there.
I'm watching Grant Leap trying to get the ball there, and Ryan Mackay's doing a good job on him.
There's Nick Lynn shooting and missing, but the rebound on the opposite side to Holloman. Now he goes back to the opposite side to Lynn. Here's Hertzberg. They're having a tough time getting the ball into Leap in close. Holloman to Hertzberg. 3.5 minutes to go, and a nice short shot. Beautiful. I couldn't see who got that one in.
That was Chris Hertzberg.
Was it Hertzberg?
It's been all Mount Vernon's offense here in this first half, doing a great job just keeping them in the game.
And the lead is cut to 6. There's Freychek. No, all of a sudden the shots are not dropping by Cascade. Mount Vernon's coming back, and there's a foul over the back called against Ryan Mackay. And now the fouls are almost even up. It's 6 against the Bulldogs, 5 against Cascade.
And the momentum has switched. You know, it's going in Mount Vernon's favor. Cascade's handled the Mount Vernon pressure very well, but they just have not knocked down those easy shots. And Mount Vernon's back in the game.
Bruins have only scored 2 points this quarter. Now Jones, who was out for a breather, comes back in for Cascade. Spiller stays in. Mackay's in there. Freychek and Stevenson. There was a backdoor cut. Nothing came of it. Well defended. There it goes into Leap. And there's what we expected from him. That 8 or 10 foot jumper.
When they clear that side for him down there, give him a lot of room to operate, and he just goes right over the top of the defender there.
Here come the Bulldogs. They're only down by 4. Cascade's had a lid on the bucket. Freychek over the top. Jones scores. Beautiful pass.
Oh. Mike Jones called for the ball, and John Son gave him the pass.
And there's Spiller hustling to knock the ball out of bounds to stop a Mount Vernon potential fast break. 2.5 minutes to go in the half. Still, Cascade's only scored 4 points this period.
You can see what Cascade's doing down there. 2 guys on Grant Leap.
There's Leap, and he misses, and the shortest guy out there, Stevenson, has the rebound.
Sean's second or third rebound in this half.
Cascade, a 6-point lead, and almost another steal by Hertzberg.
Yes, I saw Chris Hertzberg again anticipating that pass. Almost had another steal.
Went over the midcourt line, but it had been touched by Mount Vernon. Now there's the dish off to Mackay, who misses. Easy rebound right into the hands of Holloman. There's Leap trying to penetrate, couldn't do it. Stevenson with the steal, if he can control it. He's on the floor, gets it off in time to avoid a walking call.
Sean just ripped that ball away that time and got it.
Minute and a half to go. It's into Jones, 8 feet away from the foul line. Mackay passes up a shot. Gives to Stevenson, who hits a 3. His first bucket, and that's a big one. Puts his team ahead by 9 with 1:20 to go in the half.
And as you said earlier, Sean Stevenson has been scoring for Cascade here of late, and hit a big 3-point basket there.
Nick Lynn, no. He's fouled, and Coster's mad at his player for fouling him on that outside shot. You kind of got to let him take those long threes and hope that the percentage is against them, making it, which it usually is.
Kind of a sophomore mistake by Nathan Spiller there, but he was playing just tight defense, and just couldn't control the speed of his body and knock him down.
Now, is Nick Lynn getting 3 shots here?
He should. He was behind the 3-point line.
Yeah,
that's what the rule says.
I think that's the number of fingers I saw go up. Good on the first. Lynn is a junior at 5'11". 2 for 2. Is he going to make the hat trick here?
You know, one thing that you see happen a lot in games like this where you expect the scoring to come from certain people, you see other kids step up, and that certainly has been the way it's gone here so far from Mount Vernon. They got kids that maybe have not been used to scoring as many points are coming up, and they're keeping Mount Vernon in this game.
Finally missed one, and the rebound was by Freychek. Now, a minute to go. Wonder if Coach Coster's going to have him hang on to the ball. They lead by 7 points. Stevenson. Defense will have to be extended a little bit. There's a...
You guys aren't going to bait me into that, because here's what we're going to do.
Now the official is having words with both Jones and Swanson, who had a collision, and he's warning both players, and I don't know what the whistle results in here.
It doesn't look like the official's going to call anything there. He just stopped play and told the players to quit playing with one another out there and play basketball. I didn't see the play, but I saw the Mount Vernon kid. Who was that went down there? I think that might have been
Swanson.
Swanson went down there?
Yeah. Well, that was away from the ball, and we happen to be watching the ball as we usually do. Still a 7-point lead for Cascade. Each team with 6 fouls now, by the way, so we've had nobody shooting the one-on-ones yet. But if there's a foul here, they will. And looks like the Bruins definitely are going to go for the possession that winds up with taking the shot with just a second or two to play. That's Spiller out front. Almost lost it. 19 and counting. Stevenson hounded by Holloman. Mackay. Nick Lind is on him. There's Mackay taking it all the way to the hoop and it wouldn't drop, but the ball's out to Jones and Jones misses. And here comes, let's see, 2 seconds from center court. No, way wild. So the score doesn't change. Well, Cascade had an excellent chance with a couple of shots to get 2 more points. Neither shot would drop. But they've done a great job again of holding Mount Vernon to a mere 16 points in the half. They don't have a lot, but then that's not unlike Cascade to score about 23. That's what they lead by, and we'll be back with Mark Richer's statistics. More commentary by Joe Richer in a moment on Viacom's Game of the Week. The Cascade Bruins have dominated in this game after running off a 10-0 opening lead. However, the lead is only 7 points and hardly safe as we are at the halfway mark. Joe Richer has all the statistics as kept by Mark Richer. Joe, what do they show?
Well, it showed, if we look at Mount Vernon, Rod, certainly looking at the stats the first half, you would just be shocked, and probably you wouldn't believe it if someone told you about this, because Mount Vernon's 2 leading scorers, Grant Leap, who averages 20 a game, and Taylor Jones, 15, have only scored a combined 2 points in that first half. You have to credit Cascade defense. They've done a great job of getting back and making Mount Vernon set up. Every time the ball goes inside, their perimeter people drop down and make it real hard, and then they've done a good job of rebounding the ball. So it's been all the Cascade defense in this first half. 3 players scored for Mount Vernon in that first half. Nick Lynn came off the bench and scored 5 points, Grant Leap, their leading scorer, only shot the ball 3 times, made one of them. He's had 2 points, missed his only 2 foul shots. And then Chris Herzberg, who's averaged about 10 a game for Mount Vernon this year, he's been the only shining light for the Bulldogs. He had 9. For the first half, Mount Vernon only shot the ball 14 times, made 5 of them for 36%, and they were 4 for 7 from the foul line for 57%. They had 6 turnovers. Cascade, they got scoring from 5 players, led by their leading scorer, Mike Jones. Mike had 9 points, shot the ball 7 times, making 3 of those, but he was 3 for 3 from the foul line. Ryan McKay had 2 points, John Freychek 7, Nathan Spiller 2, and Sean Stevenson had a 3-pointer out there for 3 points in the first half. Cascade had a lot of good looks in the second quarter. They only scored 6 or 7 points there, but could not hit. They shot the ball 23 times, making 7 for 30%. But from the foul line, they're shooting around 60+% for the year. They were 7 for 7 for 100%. And they only had 5 turnovers, and I think that was another key in that first half is Mount Vernon tried to up-tempo the game. They tried to do a lot of pressure on Cascade. I thought Cascade did a good job of handling that, and that's one reason why they're leading this game in half.
And just one note on score by quarters. Cascade scored 16 in the first quarter, only 7 in the second. Mount Vernon's Bulldogs hit 8 points in the first and 8 points in the second. So we'll see how it goes in the third and fourth quarters coming up. Teams are starting to come back on the court. We'll take a break here and come back in just a moment with the final half of this playoff game.
Big stars, big hits. This March, pay-per-view is out of this world.
Houston, we have a problem.
Reach for the stars with the true life story of 3 American heroes. 2-time Academy Award winner Tom Hanks. Apollo 13. Kevin Costner is caught in a world covered by water and ruled by chaos. Journey to the future with Waterworld.
It is our destiny!
For top Hollywood entertainment, pay-per-view it in March.
Okay, the teams are still, well, Mount Vernon at least. Well, both teams are still in their warm-ups before the third period, but they'll be called to the bench in a moment with the buzzer. And it looked like the Mount Vernon kids, who were right down below our broadcast position, came out kind of subdued, but I'm sure they had great instructions from their coach at the halftime lull.
Well, they're a top-ranked team in the state. They got a lot of pride, a lot of character, so you know they're going to come out here in the second half and get fired up and go after Cascade here.
We'll check the lineups for you as they come out.
Just one thing though, Mike. Rod, excuse me, is the fact that Mike Jones has had only 7 points, and that's really under his average. So it's not so much that one player from Cascade is hurting Mount Vernon. It's just the fact that their 2 big scorers have just not been able to come.
Yeah, he does
play
have
up to their game.
9.
He has 9. Okay, that's his average, isn't it? So
close. All right, Cascade gets to put the ball in play, and it's. Looks like the original starting lineup. It is for them. However, Nick Lind is in for Mount Vernon. He was not a starter. The rest of the starters are in there for Coach Mac Frazier's team. There's Allen getting it off to Mackay, into Jones. Passes up the shot. Gives to Stevenson, or rather Freychek, who misses. Jones the rebound. Now Stevenson shoots and hits a three-pointer, his second of the night.
Freychek has an open shot. He misses it. And then Stevenson, who normally is not a shooter, knocks it down.
And a good drive and a score by Swanson.
Now, Eric Swanson got real aggressive with the basketball that time. And I'm sure that's what Coach Frazier told these kids to do. You just got to go out and start playing and quit thinking so much. And he took it strong to the basket, got the hoop, and is on the foul line for a chance for a three-point play.
Score at the moment is 26 to 18. 26 to 19. Okay, the 7-point lead is right back where it was at the halftime break. And there's backcourt pressure. They beat the 10-second count. That's Mackay, checked by Hertzberg. Now let's see if they drop back into their zone. Yes, they do. That's Allen. A rare shot. Missed it. Here comes the big green team, striking it all the way. Swanson again, he drew the foul. The shot did not go.
Well, very similar to the last play. Eric Swanson bringing the ball up court. Nobody stops him. That's one of the sins, one of the cardinal rules of defense. You've got to stop the penetration of the ball. They didn't do it twice in a row, and both times Eric Swanson goes to foul line.
Well, we saw him play point guard in the first half. He's at forward now, but he has the ball handling and driving skills to play point guard, so he can do those things. That's the second team foul on Cascade and the second on Mike Jones. Good on the free throw, 26 to 20, and a timeout called by Jerry Coster. And boy, this Mount Vernon crowd, and you see them in the background, was really up and firing.
Well, I think Coach Coster right away, we've only been into the second half 1 minute, but he realizes right away that Mount Vernon already has demonstrated that they're going to step their play up a notch here. And Cascade came out a little lethargic defensively. The 2 times Eric Swanson taking the ball to the basket, it never happened once in the first half, and already in the first 2 possessions in the second half, he's taken the ball to the hole twice and got good results. So I'm sure Coach Coster is telling his kids, hey, we have to get back down there now. We're still in a ball game here. We haven't won anything. Certainly Mount Vernon hasn't given up.
Swanson has scored the 4 points that the Bulldogs have in this third quarter. Haven't played quite a minute yet. And here he is for his second free throw after the timeout. Swanson is one of the seniors on the team. We've got a lot of people that aren't seniors on the squad.
Good.
And he got the second one as well, and the lead is down to 5 points.
See, Mount Vernon's really stepping up the intensity of their press here.
Kind of a lucky pass that time. It went by Allen, but went right into the hands of Mike Jones. Now they set up their normal half-court attack. Look to Jones, can't get it in. That's Mackay. Off to Jamal Allen, who fakes, and a blocking foul called against Taylor Jones. There's that knifing drive that Jamal Allen shows so often. He is quick.
Yeah, that's kind of Jamal's forte, I would say. He's kind of a slasher in there, and you give him an opportunity to take the ball to the basket, he will do that, as we saw right there.
That was on Jones, and by the way, that's his third foul, which could be a problem. There's Allen with the up fake. Now decides to shoot. Close, but not good. And Mount Vernon's Swanson to Jones. Offensive foul on Jones. Oh my, did they call that? Did that be his fourth foul?
Well, it's certainly a big call there. Sean Stevenson got back. It was difficult for you and I to see Rod if he had position or not, but that doesn't matter because the official called it on him, and a big call right there. Instead of getting 2 points, you get an offensive foul on one of the leading scorers.
And he has to leave the game because he's on the brink of fouling out. Kruger came in to replace him. He's number 25 in the green. And boy, that really drew some boos from the Mount Vernon adherents, of which there are many tonight here. Okay, Cascade against backcourt pressure. Allen to Ryan Mackay, who's played a very steady ball game. Stevenson, who's hit a couple of big threes, loses. Well, Jamal Allen couldn't handle his pass. And there's Hertzberg. Beautiful.
Great control by Chris that time. Stevenson tried for the steal, missed it. Hertzberg showed his athletic ability, got the easy score.
26 to 23. Once a big lead is as high as 12 points. It's down to 3. And a bad pass, but Freycheck got it, and a jump ball is called. The pass got away from Jones. Freycheck picked it up, tried to go up, had his shot blocked. Apparently both came down to the floor, and in the alternating possession rule, it's the big green team's ball.
Well, this is not the same Mount Vernon team we saw in that first half, and certainly not the same Cascade team as well. Cascade's come out real lethargic here, got real careless with the basketball.
So Nick Lind, checked by Stevenson. There's Leap, missed it short. Rebound Jones. Where'd they call the foul? There was one on the rebound. It's against the Bulldogs, possibly on Kruger, number 25. It is Kruger. Now that's 3 team fouls. Kruger's first. Again, full court pressure. Comes into Freycheck. Back to Spiller, who's in the game now. And a walking call. Gives the ball right back to the Bulldogs. They will not go away.
And you know, when things start going bad, you know, the rule is they're going to go even worse, and certainly so far has happened to Cascade. A lot of it just due to the defensive intensity by Mount Vernon.
There's Mackay on Leap. Shot drops, and the foul is on 42, Mackay. Well, Mackay was with him all right, but he hit him on the elbow or forearm with that soft shot. And the lead is 1 with a chance to tie it.
Well, Grant Leap made a good move. He went to his right. Normally he goes to his left, but he went to his right that time and got some space and drew the defensive player up in the air and then drew the foul and 3-point play. We got a new ball game.
26 all, 5:22 to go in the period. What Mount Vernon is doing is paying off. There's Mackay's used up his dribble, needs help. Stevenson into forecourt to Mackay. Oops, he's tripped. Inadvertent, but a trip nonetheless. And that's a non-shooting foul, but it is the 4th team foul against the Bulldogs.
It's one of those fouls that the official has to call because obviously it led to the turnover, so you have to call it. Although, as you said, it was accidental ones.
Kids will get their feet tangled up in a drive down the court, close quarters. Okay, from the offensive end line, Cascade will throw in. Mackay will do the honors. They set up the play. Into Stevenson. Mackay misses badly, taken out of the air. And here come the Bulldogs with a chance to go ahead for the first time in the game. This is Swanson. Puts it up. It's good. Counts. put up the slop shot that just had that soft touch and rolled around and fell in. The foul was, let's see, on Jamal Allen, I believe. No, he isn't in there. Well, he's just coming in now. It was on Freychek. Freychek's 4th foul. Now each team has 4 fouls as well, and Mount Vernon can go ahead further here. It's a 2-point lead. It's a 3-point lead. Maybe this basket is the easy basket. I don't know.
Well, I think just the style of play that Mount Vernon's going in. You got a kid like Eric Swanson, who's only averaged 3 or 4 points a game, is really stepping it up and just taking over down there in 3 sensational one-on-one plays against the Cascade defense. All of them resulting in scores in this 3rd quarter.
Got to get Jones back in the attack here for sure. There's Stevenson. Nope. And a long down court pass. And it was touched last by Jamal Allen. Mount Vernon ball near the offensive board. Hertzberg will feed in. Momentum in the second half has been all Bulldogs. Swanson to Hertzberg. Spiller, the sophomore, is on him now. This Allen on Swanson. Now that's Leap with a left-hander. Gee, what a nice soft touch.
Yeah,
that was a tough shot.
I believe that was over Mike Jones, too.
31-26. Mount Vernon by 5. That's Spiller. Makes a bad pass. Right, saved by Stevenson into the hands of Mount Vernon. Here comes Kruger, and he's fouled, I believe, by Allen, possibly by Mackay, to prevent an easy layup.
The Cascade called timeout here again, the second one in the 3rd quarter, but I think Coach Coster definitely needs it because the momentum has definitely switched to the Bulldogs to take a 5-point lead.
3:57 to play in the 3rd period, and wow, has this been all Mount Vernon. 31 points right now. Remember, they only had 16 at the half, so they've outscored Cascade. Let's see, where are we? 15-3. Thank you, Mark.
Well, you know, this kind of reminds you of what Coach Coster said about the first game they played back in December. Cascade was leading that game in the 3rd quarter as well. I don't know what the point leader was. It might have been 7 or 8 points, but in a space of about 4 minutes, Mount Vernon put the pressure, put the pressure on Cascade. They didn't handle it very well, and they lost the game right there. And this is identical right now to that game up there. Cascade just needs to regroup here a little bit and get a basket.
Bruins going with Stevenson, Allen, Spiller, Mackay, and Jones. Remember, Freychek has 4 fouls, and for Mount Vernon, one of their leading scorers, Taylor Jones, has 4 fouls. They're both out of the game. It's Swanson behind a screen, nothing comes of it. Out for a Hertzberg shot, and he hit a 3-pointer. Boy, everything's going Mount Vernon's way, just as it went Cascade's way in the first half. That's now an 8-point lead for the Bulldogs. Stevenson shoots in and out. Nice rebound. Won't go, but Mike Jones scores. It counts, and he's fouled. Good offensive board work by Cascade. They got 2 putback attempts.
And I'll tell you something, that was a big basket. Cascade just had to break the drought there. It was something to get it on an offensive rebound, but they just need to get back into sync here this half. They just, the Mount Vernon defense pressure has just got Cascade disorganized out there right now, and certainly a 3-point play by Mike Jones now kind of gets him back on track a little bit.
He's now got 12 points. Those were his first points of the half. Okay, comes into Kruger. Jones is on Kruger. And Kruger goes past him and draws a foul. Yeah, you can see that one. Mike started to put his hands out in supplication, but I think it was a kind of an obvious call.
I don't know if Eric Kruger recognized the fact that Mike Jones was checking him or not, but he made a good move at the basket there to draw the foul.
And it's the 3rd on Mike. Non-shooting. Leap outside goes to Hertzberg. Spiller stays with the defense on Hertzberg. Cascade's been man-to-man all the way, mostly zone for Mount Vernon. is Swanson, who's been a big factor in this period. Now Kruger, Jones on him. Couldn't force Mike into foul number 4. It's Allen on Swanson. Whoops. There was contact there and was a no call. They head to Allen, who drives, lays it off. Beautiful. Was that Mackay who got the bucket?
I believe it was. Good heads-up play like Jamel Allen. Looked like Grant Leap would have checked his shot anyway, so it made a nice pass off.
Good dish. Okay, and did we get a 5-second call, or what was the call?
I think they might have called a double foul there.
Yeah, I think you're right, Joe. This was the official that was cautioning the 2 players for the rough post play earlier. It's Joe Jarvie, the official.
But on the possession, the arrow goes to Cascade, so double foul, but Cascade gets a possession.
That was on Spiller and Hertzberg, the double. And of course, it counts against them in the team fouls and the individual personal fouls.
We always talk about spurts in basketball, and certainly we've had Mount Vernon's had one here, but Cascade's had one of their own. They get the last 5 points.
And they're down by 3 with 2.5 minutes to go. Stevenson. Jamel Allen keeps looking for Jones. Pretty good defense against Big Mike. There's Allen, tries to go to the hole and is taken away, and then Allen commits a foul. He's on the arm after the ball was grabbed by Mount Vernon's number 33, Matt McManus, who's making his first appearance in the game. McManus is a junior at 6'3". And that was, by the way, Cascade now over the limit. And it will be a 1-and-1. For Matt McManus. Both teams will be in the 1-and-1 from now on. McManus hits, so he'll shoot again. There are 2 McManus brothers on this team. He has a taller, younger brother, Danny McManus, who is a sophomore at 6'6". This is Matt, though. And he got both of them to go, is what I tried to say. Now another holdup by the official for whatever reason. Something on the floor. Some wet spot that has to be wiped up. 2.25 minutes to play in the 3rd period. With those 2 free throws, the Bulldogs are back on top by 5. In the front court, it comes to Mike Jones.
Mount Vernon does a good job putting a lot of pressure on the ball, but they don't give anything back up when Cascade breaks it. That's a key to a good defense, a good press for sure.
Over the top to Jones, was not there, deflected away by Swanson. Here comes Kruger, off to Lynn. No, they're all after it. It's poked out toward midcourt. Finally picked up by Mount Vernon's Swanson. Allen is on Swanson. Off to Lynn. He must be their designated 3-point shooter because he's fired a lot of them tonight.
Not fast a lot there. He did hit a couple in the first half hour.
Okay, 1:20 to play in the 3rd period. Cascade down by 5. Ryan Mackay. Leap is the defender on him. Allen shoots. Nope, way off. Here come the Bulldogs with Swanson. Kruger with Spiller on him. Mike Jones is guarding McManus. Leap is being checked by Ryan Mackay.
We got about 45 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. I hear Mac Frazier down there, coach of Mount Vernon, telling his players, only a good shot, which means run it, take a layup, or work it down for that last shot at the quarter. And it looks like what they're going to do now.
Swanson holding the ball with a little less than a half minute to go. If he can penetrate, he'll do it. Look for the dish off, probably.
He's had a lot of success in this
Oh, Spiller, the sophomore. Great job of intercepting, and it should give Cascade a chance for the last shot. 15 seconds and counting down. Stevenson to Allen, penetrates, puts it up, and scores! Hey! Nice effort. 6 seconds and counting. They should get a shot off, and here comes Swanson. Missed it. Rebound, Cascade preventing any further damage. And the margin is 3 with Mount Vernon in the lead, as you see on our screen, in Viacom's well-played game of the week. We'll take a break here and back in just a moment with the decisive 4th period.
I want to play a game with Lieutenant McLean.
Are you a Die-Hard fan?
What does it got to do with me?
You just said it had to be you.
When you order Die Hard with a Vengeance on pay-per-view,
What were you saying?
you can watch the making of Die Hard with a Vengeance for free immediately following.
Yippee-ki-yay.
Die Hard with a Vengeance on pay-per-view with the making of for free. Order Die Hard with a Vengeance and you also get the making of this thrilling hit.
16. Okay, here we go into the 4th period, or will in a moment, as you see the Mount Vernon cheerleaders. Let's see. Mount Vernon had 16 points at the end of the half. They now have 36, so they had a 20-point 3rd period.
No, they definitely stepped it up. Defensively, I think that was the key, too. They're a little lethargic in that first half, but defensively, this half, you see Coach Fraser there talking to his players, but I thought Mount Vernon really picked up the defense in the quarter and swung the momentum to their way and got this lead.
Force some turnovers, force some block shots, what have you.
Yeah, you know, and Mike Jones is just not getting a lot of touches out there now in that 3rd quarter, not getting a lot of shots. I thought Jamel Allen there the last couple of minutes really kind of sparked Cascade, taking the ball to the basket a little bit and creating some opportunities for him.
Now Taylor Jones is back in for Mount Vernon, playing with 4 fouls, but Freychek, who has 4 for Cascade, stays out, at least for now. Spiller has replaced Freychek and has played well in general. All right, this is Taylor Jones, checked by Mike Jones now, shoots over him and scores. A nice sharp banker off the glass.
Well, certainly he's got an advantage. If he can bring Mike Jones out, he's got a little more quickness out there, and he took the ball to basket that time and took advantage of it.
There's a kick ball automatically out of bounds to Bruins.
You know, that might have been Taylor Jones' first basket of the game. I'm not too sure or not, but he's averaging 15 for Mount Vernon, and they certainly need his scoring in there.
Was that his first basket? Right, you're right, indeed. Okay, here we go. Stevenson, checked by Nick Lind. If they're in a man-to-man, which I'm not sure they are. Looks like they've dropped into his zone again. Stevenson. I'm sure Lind will come out on him after he's made a couple of threes. Well, they had an opportunity to get the ball to Big Mike that time and didn't do it.
Well, Mount Vernon's just doing a good job right now of keeping someone in front and back of him.
There it is into him, and he pivots and shoots and scores. Boy, that looked easy.
With his size and great touch, it's real tough for somebody to stop him that's not as big as he is, and certainly made it look easy that time, like you said, Rod.
Lead is back to 3. Remember, there's a big advantage to winning this game in the further playoff action. There was Stevenson with a check to prevent something, and here goes Spiller. Oh, he missed the layup. Here's Ryan Mackay. He's tied up. Gets his own miss, though. Now they try to go. Let's see how they've called it. Yeah, it's Cascade ball is knocked away from Mackay out of bounds.
Well, certainly Cascade had 2 great opportunities that time to close within 1, but just couldn't cash in on those easy shots.
6:36 to play in the game.
Well, we thought this game would be close, you know, and Rod, and as they come down now these next 6 minutes, the team that can execute the best and probably hit from the foul line, because both of them are in one-on-ones right now.
As Jones in close, the pivot shot, 2 off the edge of the backboard. Spiller tries to score and is fouled.
And Nathan Spiller's only 6 foot tall in there, but he's playing real big in there, getting that offensive board, getting fouled on the putback.
Should be an outstanding player in his final 2 years, only being a soph.
Well, you know, you look at the rosters of both these teams, Rod, and they both have a lot of good, young, big players coming back, so I know both coaches have got to be very looking forward to the next couple of years of their basketball programs.
And Spiller, we've always noticed, has nice technique with his shot, good mechanics. Missed the second one, however. Mount Vernon comes down with it. That was Hertzberg who finally got the loose ball. Hertzberg behind the back. Dishes off. There's Lind, and he got one finally.
That's why he shoots. Shoots. You know, good shooters don't remember the last shot they missed. They just think about the next one that's going to go in. And appears that Nick Lind has that attitude out there.
Okay, it's 41-36. Another wet spot being wiped off.
You know, Nick Lind's being one of those underclassmen that Coach Frazier is going to be happy to see next year. They have a bunch of them.
Well-built kids. Rather stocky for a basketball player. There's Allen. A lot of backcourt pressure. Just got away. Stevenson picks it up.
John Stevenson hasn't scored a lot of points, but he's been critical out there against that pressure Mount Vernon puts on.
There goes Spiller. Got into good position for a short shot.
There's Grant Leap with another block. He's had 2 or 3 in this game, and as we said, he had, I think...
That's Hertzberg. Missed it. Lind. Leap. Scores.
Boy, Nick Lind's playing a big role out there. Made a nice offensive rebound. Got the easy assist.
Okay, the lead is now 7. Cascade needs a hoop about here, and as Mike Jones is double teamed, he is fouled. Oh, it's Hertzberg's 5th foul, so he's gone. Freychek playing with 4 returns for the Bruins. Taylor Jones playing with 4 is already in there for Mount Vernon.
Well, Chris Hertzberg, you know, is sitting down with 5 fouls. He's been a little quiet in the second half, but I thought he was the only player on Mount Vernon in that first half that had any life out there, and had 9 points. He kept Mount Vernon close so they could make this big charge in the third quarter.
This is Mike Jones at the line, shooting a 1-and-1. Jones so far is 4 for 4. Now has 15 points. So he's by far and away the Bruins' leading scorer of the game. And them both, well, he's doing about everything he can to help the Bruin cause.
What Cascade's going to need here in these next 5 minutes, one of their perimeter people is going to have to step up a little bit and cash in on a few of those outside shots. They haven't had it in this third quarter so far.
Taylor Jones outside to Swanson. It goes to Leap. Back on the front line to Swanson. They start over again. It's Taylor Jones trying to penetrate. Couldn't do it. Beautiful dish. And then Taylor Jones couldn't get the shot to go, but he was fouled.
As Eric Swanson making that pass, I don't see how he ever saw his teammate there, Taylor Jones, but he did. Great pass, great assist.
So we'll see how he does at the foul line.
Mount Vernon doing a good job here these last few minutes, just executing their half-court offense.
This is his first foul shot of the night. And in the clutch, down the middle. Good, and the lead is now 7, 45-38. Ryan Mackay. The shot good by Freychek. They've missed him.
Cascade desperately needs something like that, and he got it that time.
Down to 5 points. That's Leap. Outstanding sophomore. Goes with a fall-away left-hander, and a good soft touch, hit the front rim and climbed on over.
And that ball just lands up there like it's landing on jello. It just sticks there.
Again, the lead is 7. Stevenson, Jones, nice shot, facing the hoop from about 12 feet.
And we got the players that you expect to step up, stepping up now, hitting big baskets both ways.
Lynn trying to shake and go on Stevenson. Inside goes to Leap, and he soft touches the left-hander up there and in.
Ryan Mackay was trying to front Grant Leap and didn't get any backside help that time, and made an easy basket for Leap.
Back goes the lead to 7 with 3:40 to play. Freycheck to Jones. Jones out to Stevenson. Can't get the 3 away. Freycheck handling it. Mackay penetrates. Nice one. Oops, drives for the hoop. Fouled. Apparently the signal is he was fouled before he got into his act of shooting. It's going to be a 1-and-1. Both teams well over the limit now.
And we have 3 minutes and 21 seconds to go here in the game, and Mount Vernon has a kind of a tentative 7-point lead, but Ryan Mackay at the foul line now to have a chance to make it down to 5.
Allen came back in, replacing Spiller for the Bruins. Gosh, Cascade's free throwing has been sensational tonight. Mackay hit them both in the clutch. The lead is 5.
And one thing Cascade has not been able to do here the last possessions by Mount Vernon is just stop Mount Vernon, and they desperately need to do that now. Down 5 points with 3 and 13 seconds to go in the game.
That's Taylor Jones. Got far under to shot. I thought he was too far under to get an effective shot away.
Well, you can see why he averages 15 points for him. He hasn't done much in the game, but that was just a spectacular shot, Rod.
There goes that lead back to 7. Less than 3 minutes to play now. Time, a big factor. And Cascade having a little trouble getting the ball inside to their big shooter with that zone collapsing around him. And there's a steal of the ball by Swanson. He barely stayed in bounds. Crowd was calling for a step on the end line. And there's the reverse layup in by Taylor Jones, who does look like an excellent player around that board.
Yeah, but let's credit Eric Swanson for the great help in the defense, getting the steal and then spotting Taylor Jones down there for the easy assist.
9-point lead for Mount Vernon. Freycheck. Jones from inside the foul line. Wouldn't drop for him. Rebound taken away by Freycheck, and a holding foul called against Kruger.
John Freycheck doing a good job that time. Instead of going back down the court, stuck around to see what happened, and there was the ball, so he took it to the steal, and then he gets fouled. He goes to the foul line with a chance to cut that lead down to 7.
Cascade has only missed 1 free throw tonight in the whole game. That was one missed by Spiller a while back. This is Freycheck.
Cascade's going to probably have to think about doing some full court pressure now. They're 2 minutes and 8 seconds to go in the game, and with that foul shot, they're down 8 points. So let's see what they do here.
Well, you can't fault their accuracy at the foul line. And here comes Spiller back in to presumably play a little defense and keep Freycheck from maybe making his 5th foul. In the meantime, a timeout has been called with 2:08 to go. The lead is 7 points for Mount Vernon. And remember, Cascade opened the game by shooting off to a 10-0 lead.
Well, you know, good teams, you just can't bury good teams, and certainly Mount Vernon is a good team. And, you know, even though they're good players in that, their leading scorers in that first half weren't scoring. They hung close and got it down to a reasonable number there at half, and then they had that great spurt in the 3rd quarter with that tenacious pressing defense that just caused a lot of problems for Cascade. Cascade turned the ball over a lot in that 3rd quarter, and Mount Vernon got that lead, and they haven't relinquished it yet.
And they've been aggressively taking the ball to the hoop, and this shows they had 16 points in the first half, and for the total second half up to now, they've scored 37 points. That's some kind of a turnaround.
It is, but I think the things that impressed me most of all about Mount Vernon is that they do have some great scorers in Leap and Taylor Jones, but they're also showing that they have other players in the team, Nick Lynn and Eric Swanson, and kids that Chris Hertzberg, kids that haven't scored a lot this year, although Hertzberg's averaging 10. They've really stepped it up for him and been a big factor in this game.
And this is Leap throwing it in to Taylor Jones as Cascade organizes some backcourt pressure. Now they kind of relax it. A little too close. on the defense was Jamel Allen. Commits the foul. Third foul on Allen. Here comes Freychek back in because after the free throws, Coach Koster wants an offensive player in there, and Allen leaves. And this is 2 shots because both teams are up at the 10 foul mark now. Remember,
watching the way Eric Swanson shoots that foul shot, looks like a very good shooter, although statistically it looks like he's shooting under 50%. You'd never know it, though, would you?
Well, both teams are shooting free throws very, very well tonight. Now the lead is back to 9. Tough going for the Bruins. There's Freychek from way out. He didn't get enough on it. Taken out of the air. I don't know. There might have got a fingertip on that shot even to make it be that short. Minute and 40 to play. Foul on Cascade. And if that's on Freychek, I'm not sure it is. That would be his 5th. Yeah, it is. I don't think he realizes it yet that it's his 5th foul. So now he does. And the shooter will be Swanson. Well, let's just say the score stays this way. What happens to Mount Vernon from here on out, Joe, now?
So Mount Vernon will play the winner of the Terrace-Seaholm game for the Western Conference Championship and the #1 seed from Wesco in the district tournament next week.
And if Cascade loses, where do they go?
Cascade will play the loser of the Seaholm Terrace game for the 3rd seed in the district. But they will also, I believe, they will also have to play on a loser-out game in the district on Tuesday.
Play an extra game. Again, great free throw shooting. Swanson made 2 for 2, and that makes the lead 11 points, longest lead of the game. There's Ryan Mackay hitting from 3 points. He doesn't shoot from out there very often. Well, they needed that, but they're still a long way down. 57 to 49.
Well, that 3-point basket like that, Rod, there's an 8-point difference right now, but that's only three possessions, 3 3-pointers. So certainly Mount Vernon's not out of the woods yet, but
it's a tall order.
It's going to be a tall order. And like you said, the way they're stepping to the foul line, hitting those foul shots, that makes it real difficult also. But it's just, you know, if you watch this game, you would never believe, if you watch the second half and you watch the first half, it's just been 2 completely different halves. You saw Cascade just dominate that first half, and then Mount Vernon's come out here and just completely dominated Cascade here in the second half. And
well, in a way, Cascade lost the great opportunity when their shooting went south in the second quarter, and they only scored 8 points. And they had some good shots from, let's say, 10, 12-foot range, and even a couple of missed closer in than that. If they could have hit a few shots in there, they might have run away and hid.
Well, that's true, and obviously against a good team like Mount Vernon, you have to take advantage of those things, and you have to score those baskets, which Cascade didn't do in that second quarter.
Okay, Cascade organizing some backcourt pressure with Jamel Allen back in there, along with Spiller. And almost stole the ball.
Yeah, Sean Stevenson got the steal, and then he bounced it off the Mount Vernon player. It's Cascade's ball.
Okay, they're down by 8 with a minute and a half to go. Mackay will feed in. They set up the inbounds play. Comes into Jones. He's triple teamed. Turns around, shoots. Too long. Rebound Jones. Taylor Jones.
That was a tough possession for Cascade. They had a chance to get within 6.
Swanson comes up court. Used up his dribble now. Needs help. And did he call a timeout?
He got a timeout.
Just in time, too. He had a 5-second count working against him if he had not done so. Well, minute and 14 to go with the lead at 8 and Mount Vernon in possession.
Well, Cascade's going to have to come out now and go for the interception. If they don't get it, they're going to have to foul and just hope that Mount Vernon doesn't convert in the foul line. But with a minute 14, they can't allow Mount Vernon to take too much time off the clock.
Just looking ahead, there's all kinds of playoff games, tournament games going on these days in all the leagues around the state. And I'm told that we are almost certainly going to cover a girls' game next Thursday out of the Snohomish High Gym, and we don't know the teams as yet. But at any rate, you can count on us having a game yet to go within the next week.
We can also say, Rod, to the people that will be watching this telecast on Monday, that all next week there's going to be some great high school basketball, boys and girls, going on here in Snohomish County, and ask them to check the paper for the time and listings, go out and watch a great high school game.
Well, here's Leap in possession. They start the 5-second count, but it's a foul on the arm with Spiller. Well, the sophomore was trying his darndest, and he's going to put Grant Leap, another sophomore, on the line for 2 shots. Everything's going in from the foul line for both teams tonight. And there's another. Wow. Now the lead's back to 10 with only a little over a minute to go. And we've got to fire away. Mackay can't get a shot off, so he drives to the hoop and scores. Good play. But it's a 2-pointer. Then they mess up Mount Vernon's attempt to put it in play from the back line. And Cascade gets it in front court, down by 8. 58+ seconds to play.
Cascade's not going to go out without kicking and scratching. They're certainly working hard out there and making it very difficult for Mount Vernon. They need a shot here, though.
There's Jones. No, short. Tipped up, no, by Mackay. Mackay all over the player, and they've called a foul against him. Well, at least he stops the clock. 42 and 3/10 seconds to go.
The Cascades made some steals here the last 3 possessions by Mount Vernon. Cascades had two steals, but just cannot convert the basket. And then Mount Vernon down at this end down here when they go to the foul line, they've just been perfect. There's another one.
Gee, we've seen all kinds of misses in high school basketball this season, Joe, in the games we've covered. Practically none tonight.
You know, good teams down the line, Rod, they can convert in the foul line, and when that happens, it really makes it difficult to catch up on anything that you're behind on.
I think that's going to be a great statistic when we see Mark Richards' stats. There's Mike Jones putting it up. It's good, and he's fouled on the putback.
Great place by Mike Jones. I don't know how he got that shot off, but he acrobatically shot it on the way down and then got a nice high bounce off the backboard for the 2-pointer and a chance to make a 3-point game.
That's 20 points for Mike, shooting for 21 with this one. The trouble is, although Cascade is helping to fill up the basket for themselves a lot better than they were, so is Mount Vernon on the other end, especially with all those good free throws.
In the first half, Cascade's defense was able to control, I thought, the offense of Mount Vernon, but in the second half, Mount Vernon just broke down Cascade defense, and they've been kind of doing what they want down here and scoring a lot of points here in the second half.
Here comes Bunton in, replacing Jones for defense.
You got Bunton out there playing kind of a center field out there.
They still have, oh, there was a foul by Mackay. I think that's his 4th. Stopping the clock with 29 seconds to go. The lead is 7. The way they've been shooting free throws, it could be 9 in a hurry here. Swanson, for the season, only a 44+% free throw shooter, but he's doing great tonight. There's another. Amazing.
Well, Coach Frazier's really got to feel good about the way his kids have come back in the second half, and down the end of the game here, they just been perfect in the foul line, and it just made it almost impossible for Cascade to get back in this game.
They're 9 points behind. There's Jamel Allen from 3-point land, and he scores. Banked it in, didn't he? Well, 63 to 57, 6 points, timeout with 20 and 6 techs. I can't say it. 20.6 seconds to play.
And you know, Rod, that's only 2 possessions. So anything can happen. There's Jamel Allen there getting some advice from Coach Coster. But Mount Vernon's had a little trouble getting the ball inbounds here the last 3 times. They've Cascade's made 2 steals on inbounds passes here, but have not been able to convert. So maybe they'll try a little different lineup here. Coach Frazier might and get the ball inbounds, but they've been trying to get the ball to Grant Leap, but have not been able to do so.
Hey, Mark points this out. Eric Swanson tonight is 12 for 12 at the free throw line.
That's not bad.
After being a 44+% shooter for the season.
What's that, about 75%?
Yeah.
Well, he certainly has stepped it up, you know, and he's the one that I thought got Mount Vernon going in that 3rd quarter when he came out in those first 2 possessions. He just made some good penetrations of the ball and got a 3-point play one time and a 2-point play the other. And he's been kind of the catalyst for the Bulldogs here in the second half.
Okay, Kruger and Taylor Jones are in there with Leap and Lind. And here's the play into Lind on the inbounds pass. They try to foul him or something. They do foul him finally. Nathan Spiller with the foul.
Mount Vernon did a good job that time. They broke Leap to the ball, and then they cleared everybody out. So all the Mount Vernon player had to do was lob the ball over the top, and Grant went up and got it. He had nobody back there to give help against him. So that was a good way to get the ball in bounds.
Well, Spiller has now fouled out. Got Stevenson, Allen, Mackay, Bunton, and Jones. Mike Jones in there for the Grant Leap.
Now we're in that situation, Rod, where it's no longer a 1-on-1, it's a 2-shot foul. So that's the first one.
Yeah, that was a miss. He had been the only player to miss a couple up to that point.
That made it tough for Cascade. Now it's a 3-possession game, but they got to get the ball up here quick.
Stevenson is going to be off the side. Rebound Kruger. Oops, he's fouled by Mike Jones. Over the back.
Well, Cascade kids are not quitting. They're just unable to get the basket when they need it here down the stretch.
Well, you know, Leap only had 2 points for the first half. He's now got 16 points, so he's getting up there near his average. And this is Kruger at the line, and he hits. Eric Kruger's a junior at 6'3". Another miss finally. 9 seconds, 8 seconds. Allen shoots a off-balance shot that won't go. Grant Leap has it. Holds the ball, and that'll be the end of the ball game. They wind up, meaning the Mount Vernon Bulldogs winning by 8 points after being way behind in the early going. Okay, we'll check Mark Richer's statistics and have Joe Richer back in a moment with more comments as we take this time out on Viacom's Game of the Week.
Tuesday night on TNT.
Michael Jordan with a miracle!
Wednesday night, it's TBS.
Miller to the hole!
Back to Friday night on TNT.
Van Exel!
3 nights, 2 networks, 1 amazing game. It's the NBA on TNT and TBS. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday night.
Well, I hope I'm not overstating it, Joe Richer, but I call that a magnificent turnaround for the Mount Vernon Bulldogs tonight, who had terrible trouble in the first half and just played a sensational game in both ends of the court in the second half to win by 8. Joe Richer with Mark Richer's statistics.
Yeah, well, I couldn't agree with you more, Rod. I don't know what Mac Frazier said to his team at halftime, but I think if he'd bottle that and sell it, he'd probably be a millionaire, because those kids came out jacked up and just got things going, and they're just a different team in that second half, and this is the team that we've heard so much about this year, you know, and they did it with a lot of kids that have not got the recognition this year as far as their scoring points for them, and it was just a great team effort for them in the second half. Cascade just could not get on track. They had a very poor start in the third quarter, and that just kind of carried through for the whole game after playing, I thought, an outstanding game in the first half. Looking at the scoring for Mount Vernon, Rod, Nick Lynn, who came off the bench there and hit some critical points for them, had contributed 8 points. Eric Kruger had 1. Grant Leap, with only 2 points in the first half, came out and showed why he's the leading scorer in the Western Conference this year with a 20-point average, ending with 16 points. Eric Swanson, I'm going to apologize to the Mount Vernon fans and to the team if I'm wrong about this, but we're looking at the stat sheet there, and he shoots 44% from the foul line. It says, but he was 12 for 12 in that game, and he shot all of them in the second half, ending with 16 points. I think he only averages about 3 or 4 points a game, so that shows you the depth of this Mount Vernon team. And I thought Eric was one of the real keys, a real catalyst in the second half that really got Mount Vernon untracked. Matt McManus had 2 points. Chris Herzberg, who fouled out there midway in the fourth quarter, contributed 14. I thought he was a real key as well, kept Mount Vernon close in the first half, and played just a real good all-around stellar game. And then Tater Jones, who was also in foul trouble, averages 15 a game. Didn't have a point until the start of the fourth quarter there, but he showed up when good players are supposed to show up, and he ended with 8 points. For the evening, Mount Vernon was 18 for 33 for 55%. It was very good considering they shot 36 in that first half. From the foul line, they shot the ball 30 times, made 25 for 83%. That's quite impressive. They only had 12 turnovers for the game as well. Looking at the Cascade Bruins, we saw a different team in that second half, and I think we have to credit a lot to the tenacity of the Mount Vernon team there. They made a lot of those bad things happen at Cascade. Looking at their scoring, Sean Stevenson at 7. I thought Sean played a very good court game, handling that Mount Vernon pressure very well there, especially in that first half. Nathan Spiller. Can you see what Nathan Spiller scored? 2 points, it looks like. Am I wrong there?
No, that's 2 plus 1.
At the foul.
Total of 3 for the game.
He had 3 points for the game. And then this is the totals here, I see. Okay.
No, that's the total at the end of 3 quarters. He didn't put the totals down for the game.
Okay, folks. So I'm having a little trouble here, but we'll catch on to this. So John Freychek. Help me out here, Rod.
Okay, 7, 9, 11.
Okay,
11 points for Freychek.
Okay. I can only talk. I can't read, folks, so that's why I'm having a little trouble here. So Jamel Allen had 2 plus 2 for 4.
No, that's a 3-pointer for a total of 5. Okay. Jeff Bunton did not score. All right, I can do this. Ryan Mackay had 4, 7, 9, 11. 11 points for Mackay. Mike Jones, 21, I believe, or that's 21, right? Okay.
It's a 2-man job here, so
that's all right. And the rest of the players here did not get in the game, so that was it after Mike Jones.
So for the evening here, Cascade shot it 52 times, making 19 there in the for the game, which is 37%. You know, Mount Vernon only shot the ball 33 times in that for the whole game. Cascade getting 20 more shots, but from the foul line, obviously, Mount Vernon had 30 shots, making 25 of those. From the foul line, Cascade was magnificent, as you were saying all game, Rod. They only missed 1 shot, making 16 for 17 from the foul line for 94%. Cascade ended the ball game with 13 turnovers.
And where do they go from here? Cascade plays the loser of the game that you'll all know about by the time this is on the air, between Seaholm and Mount Lake Terrace, and the winner of that game gets to play Mount Vernon.
Seaholm. No, excuse.
The winner of Seaholm Terrace plays Mount Vernon.
Right.
Okay, and again, looking ahead, we're going to cover a girls' game that's going to be played on Thursday, and probably, well, we don't know who's going to play the Everett Seagulls. Could be Cascade or Snohomish. And anyway, we'll have a game to cover, and that's an early one for us to cover. That it'll be on the air at the usual time on our playback. More about that. But in the meantime, we're going to sign off the air here, and thanks to our crew of Mark Richer on stats, Joe Richer on expert commentary, on usual great results from all of our crew from Viacom. I'm Rod Belcher, reminding you of the final score. Mount Vernon 65, Cascade Bruins 57. Good night for now.